life is actually pretty long. There's so much of it, and you're gonna meet so many more people, and this is gonna feel very small in the whole thing of life. And you don't wanna be wasting it feeling negative, feeling bitter, thinking about someone constantly because you's a bad bee. You don't need that kind of energy in your life. What's up, everybody? My name is Anila Sita. The channel is Anila Sita 101. If you're new to my channel, this is the channel to get you that spiritual upgrade, but in a bad bitch type of way. So today we're gonna talk about something that, girl, if you're in this situation right now, I feel you. I was literally in the same situation, and I decided while I was in it that the moment I get out of it, I'm going to make a video about it, and finally I'm out of it. I'm gonna start saying that if there's somebody you can't stop thinking about, don't tell yourself to stop thinking about them, because that's not gonna work. That's like telling somebody to not think of a pink elephant. What are you thinking about right now? A pink elephant. That's why I think the best way to tackle this is not to tackle the actual problem, but to tackle other shit in your life. Because I feel like the reason why you're having this issue that you can't stop thinking about someone is because you're not in your bag. You're not doing what you should be doing. You're not chasing your goals. You're not living your life. Because when you're living your life, you don't have time to be thinking about people that way. The first thing I'm gonna ask is you need to establish whether you are hurt out of your ego or whether you are hurt from your feelings. The way to distinguish this is like, our ego is hurt when we feel like somebody doesn't want us, but the moment that they want us again, we kind of don't want them as much anymore because really our ego just needed to be validated. But when we really like somebody and we have feelings for them, if they would reciprocate the feelings, we would be excited with it. So the way to distinguish this would be, imagine yourself in the situation where that person that you want is feeling the way towards you that you want them to feel. How do you feel about that? Does it excite you? Do you feel love inside? Then that's your feelings. Is it like, yeah, it's cool, I got what I want, but I don't really actually care that much? Then it's your ego. I personally find that distinguishing which one it is helps me tremendously to stop thinking about someone and to even like move on from them. Now, another thing is, I feel like you clicked on this because clearly there is somebody that isn't getting you what you want. To think about someone constantly doesn't have to be a negative thing, but when we are not getting their attention or we feel like they're not reciprocating our energy and how much we're thinking about them, or it's even someone that we have no contact with because maybe contact broke and we just can't stop thinking about them. So this situation is telling you that you need to reevaluate where you're at. I feel like for me personally now, looking back, I remember I came out of a situation where I really liked somebody and then contact just broke for a while. And initially I was very down about it and I was very in my feelings, and I definitely did have feelings. However, now I realize it was a really great thing of the universe to pull me out of it and to remind me of who I am. Because the thing is, you have to know that even if you would get this person and you go into a relationship with them and it's like the whole constantly thinking about them isn't really an issue anymore because you have them, at that point, you don't want to be coming from a place of dependency and a place of lack, like you don't love yourself enough to be on your own and live your life, so you feel like you need that person. And so for me, I feel like the moment the universe, cut that contact, because everything is always divine, everything is always perfect the way that it happens to either teach us something and to come out of it better. So for me, it taught me patience. It taught me now that, you know what, I'm going to surrender. So I feel like as well, when you're always thinking about someone, you have this control issue. You can't let go. You can't just surrender and trust that the universe is going to do things exactly as it should and get you with who you need to get. It might be that person, it might not be that person, but thinking about them constantly is definitely a control thing, and over-analyzing what you did wrong, what happened. I'm just talking like out of my situation right now. I don't know what your situation is, but I do feel like there's a common trait between everybody who's thinking about someone, and that is that we feel like we aren't good enough without them. Because I feel like if we know that we're good enough without them, we wouldn't be constantly thinking about them. So my advice would be to snap out of this, get in your bag, do your stuff, realize what you came to do on this earth. And if you don't know that, then ask for help. Go see somebody, talk to family members, talk to your friends about it, and try to find out, what do I need to give myself that I'm expecting this person to give me? Because you don't want to go into this relationship empty-handed. You don't want to go into it not knowing who you are. You want to figure that out before they come back around or before a better person comes around. I realized that the moment I started being fearless about what I want to do and I started pursuing my passions, I started focusing more on my dreams and living life to the fullest, like traveling and things like that. I do still think about that person, but I think about them in a much more positive light because I see myself in a more positive light. And know that however you're viewing that person, may that be with bitter feelings or anger, whatever way you are thinking of them is usually the way that you're thinking about yourself. It's like a reflection telling you where you stand with yourself. I'm gonna tell you that you're perfect without them. You don't need this person who you're constantly thinking about. Something else I can say is sometimes us thinking about someone constantly, like I was saying in the beginning, if it's an ego issue where you can't stop thinking about them because you feel like they don't want you, maybe they rejected you, again, maybe things didn't go as you were planning they would, then you're dealing with a kind of unrequited love issue. And I think it is human nature to want what we can't have. But at the same time, I feel like we are rational beings that can make decisions every single day. And we don't have to come from a place all the time of wanting what we don't have. We need to learn how to be grateful for what we have and appreciate the people around us, the things we have in our life. Because the more that we focus on those things, we're gonna get more of that. If you feel like this is a pattern that you keep falling for people who aren't giving you the love back that you are giving out, then maybe that's pointing at an issue of yourself that you need to heal. In another video called You Don't Need a Man, which is gonna pop up somewhere here, I talked about how a lot of the time we attract people and situations out of our traumas. So if we don't heal those traumas, we're gonna keep attracting those people. After I came out of a trauma healing session with somebody, I suddenly snapped out of it and realized my worth and felt like I was so pure in my heart. I had so much love inside of me to give myself that I no longer was desperate for somebody to complete that. So bear in mind that you might be wanting somebody because you haven't fixed your inner shit. Now, my very last tip is get yourself a change of scenery. That is actually what I should have mentioned at the very start. That has helped me a tremendous amount. Like, fly to a different country if you can. The flights are not always expensive depending on where you go. Or get yourself a friend that has a car and drive to the other end of your country. It literally doesn't have to be that difficult. This helps tremendously. Even staying in a hotel somewhere else, sleeping somewhere else, like having that change of scenery where you can snap yourself out of that habit of thinking about someone constantly, because sometimes our thinking is attached to the things that we see every day. It's like we get up in the morning, we have a coffee, and we're like, oh, I remember when I had a coffee with him here. You know what I mean? But when you have that change of scenery, things are completely new and you're giving yourself a new perspective. I want to say that you're not alone in this. So many people deal with this kind of stuff. It's totally okay. My most important thing that I want to just get out there is to always be honest with yourself. You don't have to be honest to other people about how you feel, even if this is someone that screwed you over and your friends are like tired of hearing your shit. That has been me as well. Accept yourself as you are and accept that you can't stop thinking about them, because the moment you do that, it's going to be much easier to deal with the issue. On top of that, you deserve the world. You can get anybody you want. There's plenty of people in this world for you. you might not see it in this narrow-minded perspective right now, because sometimes when we can't stop thinking about someone, it's like we are coming from a narrow-minded perspective where that is all that we see. What I realized when I was talking to my grandparents or even to my father about love stories from their past, I realized this isn't even such a big deal. Sometimes when we're in a situation, we can't stop thinking about it. It's like we're so obsessed and we're like, I just want this to end, this incessant thinking about someone. But realize that life is actually pretty long. There's so much of it, and you're gonna meet so many more people, and this is gonna feel very small in the whole thing of life. And you don't wanna be wasting it feeling negative, feeling bitter, thinking about someone constantly because you's a bad bee. You don't need that kind of energy in your life. You can have anybody you want. And when you come from that place of giving yourself that love and feeling good on your own and feeling like you're in control of your life, because you can't control this person, you can control your life though, then things can go better from there on. But trust the timing of things, be patient, understand that everything has a divine lesson in it. Listen, and don't be so obsessed with thinking the whole time. Focus on the world around you and pay attention and think, what is this trying to teach me? That's always what I think, and that perspective has helped me tremendously to move on from people and to stop thinking about them. Anyways, this was my video on how to stop thinking about that specific person. If you like this, please like my video, subscribe if you want more content like this, and thank you so much for watching.